Okay, just a quick one on Chads, Tyrones, and whatever names you want to use for the equivalent in each country and race. Okay, so can you spot? I think a lot of guys overestimate their ability to see this. And the thing is that women, they're visual creatures, no doubt about it. But this concept is definitely not visual. Okay, this is a certain type of man that does not give them exactly what they want. He gives them what they want as far as sexually, right? That's a big part of it. But he doesn't give them what they want as far as the way they're trying to lock him down. And they're shit testing him, right? And he's passing the tests, but in a way that he pulls out of the race, right? He is not passing the tests to be a slave of her, right? So here's the thing, is just so you guys, my concept and what I believe is the true concept of Chad and Tyrone is that there are no married Tyrones and Chads. Now, what I mean is there are no Tyrones and Chads to the woman that marries them. Okay? There are to other women. Okay, so that's the part that's not true. But the part that matters in his life, and this is the big shock for anybody who's a Chad or Tyrone, the big fucking shock is when you get married or when you make a commitment to one woman that can't be, it's like a financially binding type of, children type thing. You quickly realize that no matter how powerful you were when you were free, that's no longer there. So sometimes a Chad or Tyrone, he will also think, these things are complex, right? The guys think that that's them, right? That's because that's the way they're always treated. The minute they get married to a guy who's a beta who gets married life is not that surprising. But to a Chad or Tyrone, it is an absolute horror field. It is a hellhole because he suddenly realizes, here's the worst thing he realizes, is that he is a Chad, okay, to every other woman, but not to the one that he committed to. Because to her, he's just another chump. And what a Chad or Tyrone does, and what I did, is that I learned this from experience. Because I've always been, basically that guy, right? But when you make a commitment, okay, I realized I was no longer that way with that one. And I remember I tried to get out of it. I'm talking about many years ago. I made a commitment, a type of commitment. It wasn't anything like a marriage, but for me, it was a big deal, right? And as soon as I got into that mini commitment, I was like, wait a second, things have changed. And then the worst part of it was when I went out in the world, is that the other women did not care what that woman thought. So I thought, here's my fear, is that now that I was not Chad with this girl, I thought that meant I wasn't Chad at all. You know what I mean? So I went out in the world, nothing had changed. Nothing had changed with the other women. Even when they knew my situation, nothing had changed. In fact, it hadn't changed at all. Like they were just trying to get me out of where I was and into where they were, right? And it was like, so it was kind of like weird because you would think, oh, wow, that's great. Because you realize all you got to do is get out of the situation and you're still the same. Now, there's no harm, no foul at the end of all this. But the thing is that the worst part is that, as a guy, as a normal caring guy, is that you do start to care about whoever you're with a lot, right? And so you make that fatal error of trying to give it a go, right? Essentially. And that fatal error never ends well. It never ends well. So if you're the type of guy who, is never in this category, don't feel too bad. Because in reality, no matter how much, and there's different levels of Chad and Tyrone, right? There's different levels. But let's say whoever is the most attractive man, for a long time it was George Clooney. there were different men who were like at the very top, the very apex of, and have the most choice of women. Even those guys, and this is very, very common, if you talk to any sports star, any Hollywood star, is that they, and you can read their autobiographies. I mean, this is like, this, I'm telling you, this is gospel here. These guys in their life are not respected by their wives, even though they have sluts throwing themselves at their feet all the time. The one who has them, nothing changes because she sees you a certain way. And the interesting thing about women is that it doesn't, the other ones don't get affected by the one. I think that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Fascinating. I'd like to hear anybody who has experience with this or seen this before, what your comment is. Because a lot of times, you see one person, like for example, if I know you very well, and then another guy doesn't know you, and I say, well, yeah, he's good at soccer. The other guy who doesn't know you very well, is going to say, oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, that's great. He's going to believe me because I'm close to you. Whereas the woman that's the closest to the guy who used to be Chad with every woman, now he's not Chad with her, he's beta with her. Another woman will come along and ask her, hey, what's this guy like? And she says, oh, I'm getting tired of him. And then meanwhile, she like doubles her efforts to steal the guy, right? So that's the funny thing. It's like, it doesn't turn her off the other one. But anyway, it's a complex concept. And I think it's going to be interesting because one of the kind of misconceptions guys have is that other guys have it so good, and their life is so hard. You got to see everybody's perspective. Like, nobody has it all. And the thing is most, and if you want to feel even better, I'll tell you the truth. Most Chads disappear and Tyrones. They have a brief moment of shining. And then once they're married, it's over. Like they never leave. So they really nothing ever changes. They're always they're a beta, even though they know if they left, they would be a, Chad again. But the thing is, they don't leave. And I think after so many decades of that, the guy gets beaten down and he no longer, from his inner soul, never thinks he's that, right? Because part of it is how you feel about yourself. It is a confidence. Confidence is a superpower for men. And being beaten down for so long for a man, he can lose that edge. And one of the ways he loses that edge, a very common way, I'll just end on this. A very common way that a Chad who's married, who eventually gets divorced, how he loses his edge is he becomes bitter. And that makes him not a Chad anymore to the other women. It does, because no longer does he have control. No longer is he superpower. He might still be very attractive, right? He might have the exact same thing he had before. It might be chiseled looks, the jaw, the green eyes. He might still look great. He might have plenty of money. And he is still attractive. I mean, don't get me wrong. But he's not Chad. Not anymore. Because now he's kind of bitter. And a woman, will definitely take him. But hey, that crown is gone, right? So if you are a Chad or Tyrone, if you have a friend who is, I would say let them enjoy it. Like, cheer your friends on, guys. Don't be crabs in a bucket. If your friends are doing well, if your friends are, cheer your friends on and hope your friends for the best. Don't be crabs in a bucket. Let your friends grow. I want to see all you guys do better than me. I want to see you guys go take these concepts and really run with them. That's my ultimate goal. I'm not here to say, hey, I'm here, No, I want everybody. No crabs in a bucket, guys. Let everybody thrive. Life is short, right? My mom said one thing that was pretty cool, actually. When I was, I was 22. And I just quit drinking and went to AA. And I was growing my hair long. Because before, I didn't want to grow my hair long because, I usually had weed with me or something, right? So I didn't want to get in trouble or get caught for drunk driving. So I had the very straight look, right? Well, then when I was 22, I was sober. I was like fucking tons of chicks. I was feeling great about myself. And I thought, and I have blonde hair. So I said, I want to grow my hair. So I started growing my hair out. And I grew my hair long for the first time, like real long. Well, I had it pretty long in junior high school, but now I had like, I had fucking officially long hair, right? And my hair looked, it did look good, right? And so I was like very happy about it. And my mom said, my dad was giving me shit, hippie and this and that. And my mom said something. My mom said, because my dad is bald, right? And a lot of guys lose their hair. My mom said, you know what? You never know how long you're going to have that hair. He goes, grow your hair and enjoy it now because you might lose it next year. And I tell you, that was a very kind thing to say because even though I didn't end up losing my hair, I thought it was very kind because he was seeing life from a long perspective. And she knew that I might be a short, like a rocket, It's like that song about the guy who becomes the rock star and then he dies, right? It's like life can be very short and you don't know how long you have, right? So enjoy your life and encourage your friends to do the best they can. And trust me, trust the process. Your life becomes bigger when you do this. You become less, you really become a bigger man and you feel better about yourself and you move a level up. And this is one of the hard things for guys to do is to allow other guys to do better than them, right? And just to be like, hey, not take it personally. It's like, hey, man, you're kicking ass, man. Keep going, man. Double down on that. You're doing great. Sometimes even saying those words is a way to be a crab in the bucket. So you have to watch that too. But what I'm saying is from your heart is you want the best for these guys. That's the main thing. If your heart is right, your actions will be right too, right? That's the main thing. Trust me on this too. Don't worry about the right words in life. It's if you have the right concept, you want your friends to do well, you're like stoked for them, then whatever you say, it's going to come out fine. Don't worry. Even if you say the wrong words once in a while, it's because you've got, you know what I mean? Like the inside is right. And what everybody on the outside, all these SJWs, everybody is all concerned with words on the outside. But the thing is, when the inside's right, you might make mistakes on the outside. We all make mistakes. We all grow. We all improve ourselves. But the thing is, if your mindset is right, like you're gonna kick ass in this class, you might suck on one test, but long term you're gonna do fine in that class, right? That's what I'm talking about there. I'm not talking hairy-fairy. It's like you're on the right path, right? So you're on the right path. Don't trust the process. There you go, guys. So don't worry about these Chad and Tyrones. Is one, if you want to think of it, like if you're not and it pisses you off, and that's fair too. Everybody's got, totally fair feeling. I understand that. Just know that most of these guys, they don't end up being Chad in the long run. They usually end up getting trapped. And, you see this in some TV shows. I think it was Married with Children. The guy used to be a football star. That's the concept they were trying to portray there, is the guy was a Chad. She got him. And now he's the ultimate beta. So that happens too. So that's, watching that happen is pretty damn interesting. I don't know if that was a perfect example, but I've seen this. I've definitely seen this, right? So if you are Chad and you are Tyrone, don't let it go to your head. Have friends, all types, and keep learning and realize that this too shall pass. Be careful, enjoy your good times, right? And know what makes you you. Don't be like Samson. The main story in the Bible describes a Chad, and he had long hair, and his secret, his power was his long hair. And he wasn't supposed to tell anybody, but he told his woman, and she cut it off at night, and he lost all his power. That's what they're talking about. That's exactly it. Chad had a secret weakness, right? This is exactly, the Bible has a bunch of great stories. And Samson is the ultimate Chad who got taken down like I'm talking about, right? So don't take down your friends. Encourage your friends. And if you have moments of glory, and you have enjoyments in life, fucking enjoy them, man. Like really enjoy them. You don't know how long it's going to last.